Have you ever wondered how the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, one of the longest-running disputes in modern history, actually started? It's a story that takes us back to the late 19th century, to the rise of a movement called Zionism. Zionism sought to establish a homeland for the Jewish people, and their eyes were set on one place: Palestine. This wasn't a simple aspiration, though. Palestine wasn't a blank canvas waiting for a new nation. It was a region with a rich history and a diverse population, including Muslims, Christians, and Jews living side by side. The Zionist movement, however, aimed to create a Jewish state in this land, igniting the first sparks of conflict. At the same time, the territorial control of Palestine was also changing hands. Before World War I, Palestine was part of the expansive Ottoman Empire, but after the war, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and Palestine found itself under British control. This was known as the British Mandate, a period that further complicated the territorial and ethnic landscape of Palestine. The British had made promises to both the Jewish and Arab communities. To the Jews, they promised support for the establishment of a Jewish national home in Palestine. To the Arabs, they promised support for the creation of independent Arab states after the war. These conflicting promises, made to appease different parties during a time of war, added fuel to the already growing fire. Under British control, the Jewish population in Palestine grew rapidly, with waves of Jewish immigrants fleeing persecution in Europe. This influx heightened tensions between the Jewish and Arab communities, as both groups laid claim to the same land. The seeds of discord had been sown. So, the late 19th century, marked by the rise of Zionism and the transition from Ottoman to British control, set the stage for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It was a time of great change and great tension, a time when the ambitions of one group collided with the existing realities of another. And so the stage was set for a conflict that would span generations. Now let's delve into the key events that have shaped this enduring conflict. The year was 1948. On the 14th day of May, David Ben-Gurion stood before the world and declared the establishment of the State of Israel. This proclamation was a beacon of hope for many Jews seeking refuge from the horrors of the Holocaust. But for the Arab nations surrounding Israel, it was a spark that ignited the First Arab-Israeli War. This clash marked the beginning of a series of wars that would come to define the conflict. The wars of 1948-49, 1956, 1967, and 1973 were not just battles over territory. They were struggles for identity, survival, and sovereignty. Each war, each battle, left an indelible imprint on the political and social landscape of the region. In the midst of these wars, another significant event occurred: the Intifadas. The word intifada means shaking off in Arabic, and these were indeed attempts by the Palestinians to shake off Israeli occupation. The first Intifada, which began in 1987, was marked by widespread civil disobedience, strikes, and protests. The second Intifada, which erupted in 2000, was much more violent, with suicide bombings and military operations becoming all too common. Both Intifadas resulted in significant loss of life and a deepening of mistrust and hostility between Israelis and Palestinians. They also led to significant changes in the political landscape. The first Intifada played a crucial role in the formation of the Palestinian Authority, while the second Intifada led to a shift in the Israeli political spectrum, with a move towards more conservative parties. These events, from the declaration of Israel's independence to the Arab-Israeli wars and the Intifadas, have not only shaped the course of the conflict, but also left deep scars on both sides. They represent moments of triumph, moments of despair, and above all, moments of change. Each event is a piece of the puzzle, helping us understand the complex and enduring nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Fast forward to today, the conflict, far from resolution, continues to simmer. In the heart of the Middle East, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict persists, affecting millions of lives and shaping the geopolitical landscape. The struggle for control over the same piece of land remains a constant source of tension, with peace seeming like a distant dream. Despite numerous attempts at negotiations and peace efforts, the conflict continues unabated. The recent years have been marked by a significant escalation in violence, bringing about a fresh wave of suffering and loss. Attacks and counterattacks, protests and crackdowns have become almost a daily occurrence. The cycle of violence only reinforces the mutual distrust and animosity, making any form of dialogue increasingly difficult. The geopolitical landscape has also seen some notable shifts. Changes in US policy towards the conflict have stirred up the already turbulent waters. The recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital by the United States, a departure from decades of diplomatic tradition, has added a new dimension to the conflict. It has not only sparked outrage among Palestinians, but has also drawn criticism from the international community. Meanwhile, the normalization of relations between Israel and certain Arab states, brokered by the United States, represents another significant development. These agreements, collectively known as the Abraham Accords, have been hailed by some as a step towards regional peace. However, they have also been criticized for sidelining the Palestinians and their aspirations for statehood. In the midst of all these developments, the people at the heart of the conflict continue to bear the brunt. The daily realities of occupation, displacement, and insecurity remain unchanged for many Palestinians. On the other hand, Israelis live under the constant threat of rocket attacks and terrorism. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a century-old dispute, continues to defy easy solutions. It is a complex web of historical grievances, political ideologies, and territorial claims. The recent developments have only added more layers to this already complicated issue. But the Israeli-Palestinian conflict isn't just a regional issue, it's a global one. The international community has been involved in various capacities, from peacekeeping missions to mediation efforts and significant policy changes. One of the key players is the United Nations. Since its inception, the UN has been actively involved in trying to resolve the conflict. Its peacekeeping forces have been deployed to maintain ceasefires and prevent further escalation of violence. The UN has also attempted to mediate peace talks and proposed resolutions aimed at finding a fair and lasting solution. However, its success has been limited, often hindered by the complexities of the conflict and the veto power of certain member states. Another major player is the United States. It has often acted as a mediator in peace talks and has been instrumental in shaping the political landscape. The US has provided significant financial and military aid to Israel, making it a key ally. However, this has also sparked criticism and controversy, with some arguing that it undermines the peace process by favoring one side. Recent changes in US policy towards the conflict have further complicated the situation, adding a new layer of uncertainty to an already complex issue. Other countries have also been involved, either directly or indirectly. Some, like Egypt and Jordan, have signed peace treaties with Israel, while others have provided support to the Palestinians. Many nations have used their diplomatic influence to advocate for a peaceful resolution. However, these efforts have often been overshadowed by larger geopolitical dynamics, such as the Arab-Israeli conflict and the broader tensions in the Middle East. In summary, the international community has played a crucial role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, both in terms of peacekeeping and mediation. It has also been a major factor in shaping the political and territorial landscape. However, despite these efforts, the conflict continues. The international community, while influential, has yet to broker a lasting peace. At the heart of this conflict are a number of unresolved issues. The tug-of-war between security and the peace process presents an intricate puzzle. On one hand, Israel's drive for security leads to measures like building settlements in occupied territories. This not only escalates tension, but also complicates the peace process. On the other hand, Palestinians steadfastly advocate for a peace process that paves the way for a two-state solution. However, this objective often meets roadblocks due to the intricate web of security concerns. Another major hurdle is the issue of land ownership and territorial disputes. The question of who has the right to what land is a conundrum that dates back centuries. The borders drawn during the British Mandate, the aftermath of wars, and the continual establishment of settlements have all left an indelible mark on the territorial landscape. This knotty issue presents a significant stumbling block in peace negotiations. These debates reflect the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They are not simply black and white issues, but rather a spectrum of grays that require careful navigation. Each side has legitimate concerns and deep-seated fears that need to be addressed. This is where the role of international mediation becomes crucial, guiding the conversation towards a resolution that respects the rights and aspirations of both parties. However, the path to peace is not a straight line. It is a winding road filled with setbacks and detours. It requires patience, persistence, and above all, a commitment to dialogue. As we have seen, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex issue with deep historical roots, making a lasting solution elusive. But dialogue remains the cornerstone of any hope for peace. By recognizing the humanity in each other, by understanding the other's pain, and by acknowledging the other's rights, we can start to untangle the intricate web of this conflict, inching closer to a resolution that ensures dignity, justice, and peace for all. To summarize, we've journeyed through the genesis of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, its key events, the current situation, international involvement, and the unresolved issues. This intricate tale, with roots in the late 19th century, has seen wars, uprisings, and countless peace efforts. The world watches as the complex dance of politics, land disputes, and security concerns continues. Yet, amid the turmoil, the role of dialogue and mutual understanding cannot be overstated. Despite the complexities and the long road ahead, we must remain hopeful that dialogue and mutual understanding can pave the way for a peaceful resolution. If you find this video information, please like and subscribe, link in description below.